Hello crafty fans! Welcome back to my channel. For today's episode, I'm going to do another men's shirt transformation. I am going to turn this shirt into a cute overall for kids. So if you want to learn how, keep on watching! I'm going to use this skirt as a pattern. First, I'm going to mark it and then I'm going to cut it out. I'm also going to cut out a long strip of fabric that is about 2 inches wide. And I'm just going to trim off the edges just to make it more straight. I'm going to sew it together to make a long strip of fabric that will be used as a waistband. Here I'm just tracing the skirt outline and I'm adding about 1/2 inch side seams allowance. And then I will trim off the excess fabric. You should have 3 pieces, 1 back piece and 2 front pieces. And be sure that the right sides of the fabrics are facing. And I'm going to sew the side seams. I'm also going to sew the long strip of fabric for the waistband. Now it's time to sew the waistband on the skirt. Remember that the right sides are facing. I actually made the waistband a bit longer. I'm just going to trim off the excess fabrics later on. I'm going to leave about 1/2 inch seam allowances on both ends of the waistband. And then I'm going to sew along the edges, doing about 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then I'm going to cut where the red lines are just to release the tension on the curve. Now it's time to finish the ends of the waistband. First, I'm going to fold it just like this. Right sides are facing. And then I'm going to sew it right here. And I will repeat the same process on the other end of the waistband. Right after I sewed the edges of the waistband, I'm going to trim off the excess fabric, leaving about 1/4 inch seam allowances. It's time to finish the waistband. I'm going to fold it in, hiding the raw edges, and then I'm going to pin it to secure. By the way, if you press the seam allowances first, it will be much easier to tuck in the seam allowances under the waistband. Time to make some straps for the overalls. And I'm just cutting a long piece of fabric about 4 inches wide. And I'm just going to eyeball it actually. And I'm going to finish the hemlines by folding it twice and sewing a straight stitch on all 4 sides. I also press the seam allowances so it's much easier for me to sew it. And then I decided to add this vintage trim right at the center of the straps. So I'm just going to top stitch it just like this. And I will add 2 buttonholes and 2 buttons on the skirt. I'm just going to place the strap inside the skirt just like this, and I'm going to top stitch it. And before I top stitch, let my daughter try it on so I don't have to redo it if it doesn't fit. And here is the final transformation.